I want to take you live now to Pauline Hanson. She's talking about this robbery from allegedly a burqa-wearing bandit in Melbourne.
My understanding also, this is not the first time a burqa has been worn in the attempt of a criminal act. It was worn in 2010 in an attempt to steal money. As I said last week, the wearing of the full burqa or full face covering, and I will go back to that, a full face covering, which does include the burqa, a balaclava, a helmet, anything that covers the face which is used as a facial recognition, is of grave concern to myself, and not only myself, but millions of Australians. Since I actually was on the floor of Parliament wearing the burqa, I'm pleased to hear that the Senate is going to be investigating the dress code for the Senate. But there has been a huge public response to my, as people would say, my stunt in Parliament, which I do not regret doing. It has created debate, and I wish that the major political parties, everyone on whatever side of politics they are, is to open up the debate. Let's look at it logically, with common sense, and understand that it is a national security and a risk to the people on the streets of Australia.
You've just cited two incidents. One, I think, is at 2010, and the most recent one in Victoria, I think it was last week, where the perpetrator or alleged perpetrator of a crime have worn the burqa. Two incidents out of every single crime that occurs in Australia. That is an extremely small number, isn't it? And not significant enough to justify worrying Australians?
I don't believe so. I think it could be the start of it. As we've seen, a police officer has picked up a woman wearing a burqa driving a car for an offence. She was not charged because he could not verify that was the person. We are seeing instances in our courtrooms where people wearing the burqa are refusing to actually stand up. They have no respect for our culture or our laws. I think it's important the way the world is changing. As I said in my speech last week, in the Iranian parliament, you had two men dressed in burqas that walked into the parliament, detonate bombs and killed 12 people and injured a further 35 people. So it is happening around the world. There was another instance in Israel where a woman in a burqa stabbed a security guard. So it is happening, and all I'm asking is that the people of Australia be allowed to have a voice, speak about this, how they feel. Wearing the burqa is not a religious requirement. Let me make that quite clear, because Senator Brandis had no understanding of the culture behind the burqa. It is not a religious requirement. So we must do everything that we possibly can to keep the people of Australia safe and feel that any migrant that comes to this country, they must want to assimilate into our society and respect our laws and our way of life. And it's like if we go over to a Muslim country, they expect the women to cover up, otherwise there would be repercussions for them. So this is our culture here.
You say Australians deserve to have a voice when it comes to expressing their views on religious garments such as the burqa. Have you been silenced when it comes to, your opinion on the burqa?
Me silenced?
Yeah.
Not me. No, I definitely haven't been silenced. It's a shame, isn't it? I think a lot of my colleagues on the floor of Parliament would dearly love to have a say about this, but they're silenced because of political correctness and because they're the policies of the party. It is a real shame. I've been out in the street since last Thursday, since my time on the floor of Parliament, and I've covered 3 states, and I can tell you the public support has been absolutely overwhelming, and I have not received one negative response from any of the public. And I've been in shopping centres, I've been in Sydney, I've been down to Tasmania, I've been back here in Queensland, so I can tell you the public response is just amazing. And this support I'm receiving is coming from people that have come from other countries such as Egypt and South America, and who've raised their concerns with me and congratulated me on my stance with this. So they feel they have had to leave their countries because of it's changed due to Islam, and they don't want that to happen here in Australia, and as a matter of fact, either do I.
Do you have all the details from Victoria Police? So have you gone a little soon on this? They're saying that it was a person wearing a head covering similar to a niqab or a burqa, and
Correct.
there are still details to come. Have you gone too soon?
Correct, and that is that's their definition and how they regarded it. The whole fact is it is a full face covering. What I have said in my speech on the floor of Parliament is that there should be no full face coverings in Australia, and as I indicated on the floor of Parliament. Sorry?
Have you seen what was used in the crime? Was it, or the alleged crime? Was it actually, have you seen the gun?
I think there is, when a definition is given of what it looks like, whether it's a niqab or a burqa, you know, you take that for as it is. It is similar. Look, your name? Kathy. I'm not going to debate this issue with you. The whole fact is that they could not have facial recognition of this person. And in that case, why should businesses bother putting up security cameras? They are used for facial recognition to then catch criminals. Now, why bother with the expense? If we do not impose a ban on full face coverings, as I said, the balaclava, helmets cannot be worn into banks and certain government places or public places. So I think in all fairness to all Australians, and I have always stood for equality for all Australians, this is not equality. We are treating people differently, purely based on their, well, I don't believe it's a belief, of how they care to dress. And we have, you know, dress laws, and I'm pleased now that I hope it will come about on the floor of Parliament that they can't wear full face coverings in Parliament.
It's too early to know at this stage whether...
Sorry, if I could just ask you in relation to this specific incident in Melbourne, the local mayor of the area has come out swinging, basically suggesting that it was your stunt last week that could be behind criminals deciding to use a burqa in this scenario, and that it is your stunt that is going to be responsible for similar types of incidents. What is your response to that, Senator?
Well, I'd say he must have been speaking to Sarah Hanson Young, because she's made the same comment. As I must say, the burqa was actually used in a robbery in 2010. I wasn't around at that time. My comments weren't made at that time. The same as I've made reference to other incidents around the world were in the burqa. So it is a way for them to hide their identity, less chance of them being picked up and charged with their criminal offences. So I think...
Is your actions, Senator, going to contribute to incidents like this? You pointed out that the burqa could be used in circumstances where robberies could be taking place, the criminals could be taking, I suppose, advantage of those comments and choosing to use that as they see fit.
No, I think it's absolutely rubbish to even think that. I think because our laws allow them to wear the burqa in public places, gives them, what can I say, more opportunity to actually go undetected, not challenged, not asked for verification. So basically, by us allowing our laws for them to have these full face coverings on is actually the problem here. So it's not what I say, it's our laws which is allowing them.
Senator,
Okay.
just on another